chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. Hey, all I require for...
Shalom, Mispacha. Today I'm doing a different type of video, and I've thought about doing this for a while now. And Yah has kind of sped it up. It has been on the back of my mind to do this. And it is to warn my people to keep their eyes open. So let me give you back a bit of history. Back when the internet was becoming popular, I was very, very skeptical about it. I was working as a secretary, receptionist, doing office work, and I had to use it. But I did not like it. It's something about it being called the World Wide Web. I didn't want to be caught in anyone's web. I was just so turned off by what it was called. Well, one day I was going home with some friends after church. It was a while ago. It was about 1998, I was thinking. So it was a while back. And I remember these friends were a little bit younger than I was. And I remember one person was talking about that the W could be construed, or the 3 W's could be construed as the mark of the beast. And she had heard that W is the number 6 in Hebrew. Well, the W is indeed the Vav, or 2 U's in Hebrew, as Hebrew has numerical values for letters as well. So I thought, interesting. And I filed that away to the back of my head. Now, as life went on, my kids would say things about the internet. They had to go to school and study things about computers and the internet, and I would say, oh, that was on the mark of the beast. Or then I'd comment about something and say, go on the mark of the beast and find such and such. And they knew that I held fast to the thought that this was not a coincidence. Fast forward to now, and life has gotten very, very crazy. Most people have switched their internet service to their cell phones. Now, I worked for a large American phone company doing customer service for their cell phone department. And I realized then how very much these instruments were walking, talking computers. I'm very grateful for the time that I had with that company because it helped form my belief. And that is this: cell phones are a major part in the Babylon scenario. I would say that to my only daughter who is awake. People are looking everywhere but the obvious. Now, as time wore on, people were doing more and more things on their cell phones. You needed a taxi? There was an app for that. You needed to make an appointment for your dentist? He had an app that was integrated with other apps across the country. You only had to put in your favorite time and your appointment was set. You wanted to get Middle Eastern food? There was an app for ordering the food, as well as one for delivery. Your food could be at your door within half an hour, and you didn't need to leave your couch except to get the food at the door. Needed to do your banking? The banks had apps too. As a matter of fact, you could take a picture of a check and deposit it later. Some banks don't even take envelopes at the ATMs now. You need to put the cash or the checks into the slot and you're good to go. Now, I refuse to get the app for my bank on my phone. Now let's talk about the cell phones themselves. If you have Google Drive, like I do, Whenever I take a picture of something, it automatically gets posted to my drive from my phone. If I walk to the corner of Main and First Street, the phone can tell me restaurants in the area. Some phones even need your fingerprint to unlock it. When I saw that on someone's phone, I said that I would never do that. The person looked at me kind of surprised. And I'm thinking, what does Apple need my fingerprint for? I can punch in a 4-digit code. Thank you very much. As time has progressed, I am more and more convinced that people are looking at the RFID chip and forgetting about cell phones. So I'm going to read a bit about what the Bible says in Revelations. Revelation 6 verse 2 says, "So the first angel went and poured out his bowl on the earth, and the loathsome malignant sores broke out on those who had the mark of the beast and worshipped its image." I don't know about you, but people will line up for days to get the latest iPhone. They have to have the latest gadget. They need all the bells and whistles on their phones. They are lost without their cell phones. If they lose their phones, they do not know what to do. As a warning, I went out and got an address book, and I'm going back to basics. We all do. Grievous sores was what the King James Version had said. Do cell phones cause grievous sores or malignant sores? An article from the New York Daily News said in, I think it was 2015, the scientists were right. Your cell phone can give you cancer. In a study of hundreds of other studies, it reveals many findings of previous researchers into how radio frequency from your phone can damage your DNA. That damage can add up over time and cause a variety of health problems like cancer, headaches, fatigue, and even skin problems. Grievous sores, perhaps? For example, using your phone for just 20 minutes a day for 5 years has increased the risk of one type of brain tumor 3-fold. And using the phone an hour a day for 4 years up the risk of some tumors from 3 to 5 times, the researchers said. I'll put the link in the description box below for the article. But if you want evidence to refute this, that's also available, right? Because the cell phone companies, unfortunately, don't want you to know that this is a problem. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. From the website The Truth About Cancer, they say this: if you're a man and carry your mobile phone in your pants pocket, or a woman who tucks her phone into her bra strap, chances are you aren't aware of the damage that this practice may be causing. And you're not going to hear about it from the cell phone companies who are resisting mounting evidence about the dangers of mobile phone radiation. The article goes on to say that it has been linked to low sperm count in men and increased testicular cancer. They also studied the occurrence of breast cancer in women under 40. These women had no previous history of breast cancer and had carried their phones in their bras. I literally freak out when I see women doing this. Okay, so then one day I went to McD's for my coffee. Don't hate. They have good coffee, and I was doing that before I was woke. And I was paying with debit, and the girl tapped my card instead of swiping. And I thought, what are you doing, chica? And she said, I had the wave. I didn't know that the bank had done that without my knowing with the latest card issuance that I had had. A while later, I realized that Apple had come up with Apple Pay. I wasn't doing that either. And now there's a version for Android. And of course, they're using a black woman as the marketing face. My friends, you are able to pay for things now without even pulling out your wallet. Buying and selling, my friends. This is for buying and selling. So, let me read what the rest of Revelation 18 says about Babylon. The kings of the earth who went whoring with her and shared her luxury will sob and wail over her when they see the smoke as she burns. Verse 10. Standing at a distance, for fear of her torment, they will say, "Oh no, the great city, Babel, the mighty city. In an hour, in a single hour, your judgment has come." The world's businessmen weep and mourn over her because no one is buying their merchandise anymore. Stocks of gold and silver, gems and pearls, fine linen and purple, silk and scarlet, all rare woods, all ivory goods, all kinds of things made of scented wood, brass, iron, and marble. Verse 13. Cinnamon, cardamom, incense, myrrh, frankincense, wine, oil, flour, grain, cattle, sheep, horses, chariots, and bodies, and people's souls. The fruits you lusted for with all your heart have gone. All the luxury and flashiness have been destroyed, never to return. Verse 15. The sellers of these things who got rich from her will stand at a distance for fear of her torment, weeping and mourning and saying, "Oh no, the great city used to wear fine linen, purple and scarlet. She glittered with gold, precious stones and pearls. Such great wealth in a single hour ruined." All the shipmasters, passengers, sailors, and everyone making his living from the sea stood at a distance. Verse 18, and cried out when they saw the smoke as she burned, "What city was like the great city?" And they threw dust on their heads as they wept and mourned, saying, "Oh no, the great city, the abundance of her wealth, made all the ship owners rich. In a single hour, she is ruined." Right here, Babylon is being given the visual as a sea. I don't know if you can imagine the sea and the web kind of being very similar, and people who are making their living. Now, I do things on the web as well, but the webmasters or the sailors, the ship owners, could be one and the same. I can't seem to get it through people's heads that they are looking at things that may not be the answer when this is right in front of their faces. Okay, so let's talk about Apple's latest infomercial, which is really what got me into this whole, or let's do this video now. Apple just released an infomercial with the terminology, the Appocalypse infomercial. And it's a blatant warning about what is to come. The Most High uses the very tools that will bring destruction to warn us. He uses Hollywood to warn us of destruction via Hollywood. If there's no Google Maps, when the apps are gone, people won't know where to go. If there are no banking apps, then there's no one who can buy unless you go into an actual bank. If there's no Tinder app, there's no dating. At the end of the Apple commercial, it shows how things will be afterwards. Things will be like they were way back when, except there will be the addition of some leftover strains of technology. There's even a person walking around saying, "The apocalypse is nigh." And in the background of this commercial is the Christopher Cross. I don't know if you see the symbolism of that, the false messiah, singing, "It's all right, think we're going to make it, think it's just going to work out fine this time." It's not going to work out fine this time. This is it. This is the last of it. Things are being warned openly, my friends, and we need, as woke people, to heed the warnings. If Apple is warning us, If Apple is warning us, we need to take heed. We need to take heed. People, wake up. If our apps are gone, your world will disappear. Get off your cell phones and get back to life. Without phones, without technology, with nature, the way Yah intended. Now, I'm nowhere near there, but Yah knows this is my goal before the chaos hits the fan. Get out of Babylon. I decided to Google the mark of the beast in cell phones, and guess what? People are now cluing into this. There are oodles of hits on Google about this subject now. My people, I'm not a big-time researcher channel. I leave that for the others who have this as their focus and their calling. But I do want my queens, who can pass it on to our kings, to be aware. Do not get any more apps on your phones. Do your banking at a teller. For real. Go in. Talk to them. Start taking your money out of the bank. Start getting your life prepared to flee Babylon. Because when you get out of Babylon, you cannot take technology with you. Make a clean cut to be out of her completely. Now, the cell phone is just part of the whole thing. The whole thing is the system. I'm just trying to wake people up that things are farther along than they understand or realize. So finally, I leave you with this. I recall the things that we associate with talking, and this came to me. When a person is talking incessantly, what do we call that? We say that person is babbling on and on. My friends, do not discount your cell phone. It may be the thing that you discount the most that has the biggest impact on our lives. So this was not the normal type of video that I do, but I felt that it was necessary. Please share this video, and I would love if you would like and subscribe to my channel. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'd love to know what you think about this. Do you think that we should be concerned about cell phones? Do you think that this is part of the whole Babylon thing that we should be aware of? Because I think that the RFID chip is here to get us off base. And we should really start looking at our cell phones. So this is Emma Catriel saying shalom, shalom, until the next time. Bye-bye.
Chosen generation, we've been called for to show His excellence.